behind Chimmy's, which is a pay to park lot. I park in spot 16. I scan the little pay to park thing and I pay. I get a 3-hour time slot. I pay 15 bucks for that. I buy that session at 5:34. So in 3 hours, it's 8:34 when my session ends. We're in Chimmy's watching the game, having a good time. 8:30 rolls around. I'm like, oh, I need to book another hour because the game's still going on. So I'm filling out all the stuff on Park Mobile and I buy a 1-hour session at 8:39. My previous 3-hour session ended at 8:34. So between 8:34 and 8:39, I was not paying to park. Literally 5 minutes. And then that 1-hour session was supposed to end at 9:39. At 8:55, there's a text in my sorority group chat and it says, someone's car is getting towed. It's a picture of my car. I was like, yeah, that's annoying, but I paid. I literally had a session going that was supposed to end in like 30 minutes. So I'm not worried at all because obviously like I paid, there was some kind of miscommunication. I'm not worried. We get a ride home, whatever. I couldn't get it. I didn't want to get it that night. It was late because since I didn't have to drive, we stayed out later. I couldn't get it in the morning because I had work at 8 a.m. and then I worked until 5. So I had to get it like literally 24 hours later. So after work, I get home and then me and my roommate Jolie, we go back to Chimmy's because I don't know where my car is. I got to go find the number to call. So Jolie drives me over there, call it, and she's like, this lady's kind of rude, but whatever. If I worked for a towing place, I would probably not like my life. My car was towed, like, where do I go? She's like, I'll text you the address. I get the address, I literally copy it from my text, put it into my maps, and it's taking me to a church. Like, it took forever to find the place, but when we finally did. So I'm already in a bad mood. Like, it took 15 minutes to find the place. So Jolie's driving me, it's 20 minutes away. I'm like, this is just such an inconvenience for everybody. Like, I was so annoyed already. Little did I know. So 20 minutes later, we finally get to the place, and it looks like this. Excuse me. So Jolie comes in with me because it's so sketchy, and I'm so glad she did. The place reeks of cat pee and dog food. There's like stray cats, cat throw up on the porch. Mind you, I'm still not that wrongfully towed. So I walk up there and it's this like old man with a veteran hat on, skin and bones. I think he was eating dog food. Whatever. I was like, okay, like, it's an old man. Whatever. It's fine. So I'm like, hi, my car was towed. We figure out which one. It was the only one in the lot. My poor Lexi. And then before anything else, he asks Jolie to step outside and shut the door. And there's a sign on the door that's like, only one person allowed in the lobby at a time. It looks like someone just literally typed it out on a Google Doc and stuck it on the door. Like, it was nothing serious at all. But she does. I shut the door because I'm, of course, still not worried. I'm like, it's fine. I forgot a part. As soon as Jolie was outside, she had her mom on the phone. And like, she was telling her that that's not true, that she can't be in there with me. Before anything else, I'm like, what time was my car towed? Like, what is the exact time? And he looks at the paper and he's like, 8:36. 8:36. My session ended at 8:34. My new one started at 8:39. So it was in the 5 minutes that I wasn't paying. So I can't do anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course. So I know, I'm like, oh, I have to pay. Like, my fault for not overlapping my sessions. But yeah, I'm annoyed that I have to pay to get my car back, but like, what can you do? Like, I didn't have a session at that time. Like, whatever. Was I gonna argue or anything? Like, I was rightfully towed, and I know these people are miserable and hate their lives, so I was like, fine, whatever. So he gives me the paper to sign that says I'm gonna pay $350 to get my car back. And I'm like, whatever. I signed the paper. I was also charged 40 bucks for leaving my car there all day. I couldn't get it. I was at work and I wasn't worried, so like, it's fine. So then it's time to pay. I give him my card. He swipes it and then realizes that there's no printer paper in their little card reader thing that prints out a receipt for me. My card had been swiped. He's like looking everywhere for this paper, calls someone, says it should be in a drawer. He looks there, it's not there. So then he's like, okay, let me cancel the transaction. I'm like, okay. He says he cancels it and then tells me that I need to pay in cash. I was like, so now you want me to go drive to an ATM and get $350 cash and come back and pay you? And he's like, yes. So I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go home at this point. I'm tired. I worked all day. I'm hungry. I'm annoyed. Like, I just want my car back. So I'm like, okay, let me go find an ATM. He had said, like, he canceled the transaction. I wasn't gonna be charged and I could just go get cash and it would be fine. To go back to the car, I'm like, let me check my bank account just to make sure I wasn't charged. I look, $350 out of my account. I'm like, oh my God, I was charged. So I walk back in there and show him my bank statement and say, no, I was actually charged. And he was like, I canceled it. I was like, no, I was charged. And he takes my phone with my bank statement. He's like looking on it, looks on the card reader and says it's like voided. And he's like, well, it should be coming back to you because I voided it. And I was like, okay, well, I need to see it in my account before anything else. And he was like, oh, well, like that could take a day or something. And I was like, no. So then he wanted to tap my card again. First of all, what happened to me going and getting cash? Second of all, I'm not tapping my card twice if that is not back in my account. Like, I'm down $350. I'm not paying $350 more before I see that original back in my account. Like, no. Because I was like, you're gonna charge me twice and I'm never gonna get it back, right? So I'm telling him this. He still has my phone looking at it and he was like, cancel off of here. I'm like, you think I can cancel something off of my phone? Oh, I would gladly cancel it and take my money back, but are you dumb? That's not how it works. Oh, he also tried to tell me that the little minus in my account meant that the money had come back to me. I was like, no, sir, that is a withdraw. That's why there's a minus. Like, it's out of my account. I'm like refusing to do anything until I see the money back in my account because I had to have a receipt from the card reader. Like, he couldn't just accept that I paid. I don't know. Jolie puts her mom on the phone like to him so she can like tell him he's wrong, and he just mutes the call and he's so mad. Also, I asked him if I paid cash, would I need a receipt? And he was like, no, we would just write on the paper you signed that you paid cash. Like, you couldn't have write that I paid card on the paper? Whatever. So fishy. He calls his deputy, as he called her, the manager of the towing lot, and he asked her to come here because he can't figure out how to cancel the charge. So we are waiting for literally an hour. We had been there for an hour at this point, waiting for the deputy to get there, telling me he likes my nails, and Jolie would try to say one word, he would scream at her. He keeps telling Jolie to go back outside, and it's dark now, and he wants her to stand out there alone in the dark. I'm like, no, it's scary, she's gonna stay in here. He didn't say anything to me. We're waiting for the deputy to get there. He keeps apologizing. He's like, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I'm like, okay. Like, he's like trying to make small talk, like get on my good side. And then he'll scream at Jolie, like, what? And he kept wanting me to pay in cash. He'd be like, you know, it's $10 cheaper if you pay in cash. Like, no, you want me to pay in cash so I can pay and leave, and then you can say that I never paid you and have to pay more. And they have like their legal, like, I don't know how to call it, like their legal papers posted in the lobby. Like, you know how like restaurants and stuff have to display their like FDA thing? It was like that, and it said must accept payment in card, credit card, debit card, electronic payment. Did not say cash. But then there was a little paper right next to the window that said cash, card, electronic payment. But that paper looked like, of course, someone typed it up on a Google Doc and printed it out and put it up there. And while we're waiting for her, he magically finds paper to go into the card reader for my receipt. It just magically appears, huh? And Jolie's mom had called the police to come because we thought he was literally just trying to steal my money. Like, not like police, like sirens and everything, just like to have like a witness. So after like 30 minutes, the deputy finally gets there. Oh, and does she look like a deputy? Like, she comes in her house shoes, her pajama pants, her cup from the gas station. She busts in cursing, like white trash galore. Reeks of cigarettes. She comes in and she's like, what's the issue? What's the issue? He charged me and he says I have to have a receipt. So he canceled it and wants me to pay again, but I'm not tapping my card again until I see that money back in my account. And she's like trying to take my side. She's like, no girl, I wouldn't tap my card either if I didn't see that back in my account. Like, you're right. So it's like, okay, thank you, like you understand. So she picks up the card reader. She's like, okay, let's get this canceled. Let's get that back to you so we can like redo this. I'm like, okay. Now there's a passcode on their old-fashioned card reader. And of course, she doesn't know the passcode, so she calls another useless woman and she's like, Sheila, what's the passcode to the card reader? And Sheila's like, damn if I know. There should be a number on the side of the card reader. Call tech support. I hear that and I'm like, oh hell no. The deputy, she just hangs up the phone. She's like, I ain't calling no damn tech support. I'm young, we can figure this out. Okay, not look young. So she's like, there has to be like a file on this card reader where we can find the password. So they're looking through every single folder in the filing cabinet for like 15 minutes trying to figure out the passcode to this card reader. June bugs are dive bombing my head. We're waiting for them to find it, and then she finally finds the box that the reader came in. It was like right in front of them the entire time. And I don't even know what she looked for in the box, but then all of a sudden the reader is working. Like, she didn't even use what was in the box, I feel like. Whatever. I'm like, thank God. So she gets into the card reader and she's like, you never canceled this. Like, it says it went through. And he was like, oh, like, you wanted me to pay again, sir. I'm like, yeah, I know I was charged. I see it in my bank account. I don't see it in my bank account. So then she prints me out a receipt. I'm like, yes, I can finally go. We start walking out to go get my car, and I'm like, thank the Lord. I was not happy, but I was relieved to be finally getting my car after 2.5 hours. The deputy leaves, and the old man walks us out to the gate where my car is like behind. He's like unlocking the gate, and he's like, you stay here, to Jolie. And he's like, you go get your car. I was like, and Jolie was like, no, I'm gonna come with her. And he was like, no, you can't, it's policy. And I was like, no, it is scary in there. It's a dark alley. I'm gonna get murdered. Like, she's coming with me. And he was like, she cannot. And I was like, okay, you come with the both of us to go get my car because she's not leaving me and she's not staying here by herself. He goes, shines his flashlight, literally holding it like a gun, and it's gun shaped. He points it at Jolie and he's like, you are a pain in my ass. I hope you never come back here. Good. We do not ever want to come back here ever. Like, who does it look like we do? So he opens the gate and then doesn't come in with us. He just lets us both go in. And as we're walking to my car, he's like, you know where I hope you go? He wanted to tell Jolie that he wants her to go to hell, but she didn't answer. So he was just like left standing there. It was hilarious. But we get in my car, drive out the gate, drop Jolie off at her car. So everything's finally over. We're driving down the driveway to get back onto the road, and of course the police finally comes. So he like stops us. He's like, what was going on? Like, is everything worked out? We told him the whole story. He was super nice. He was writing stuff down, took my license number and stuff, and he was just gonna make a report. And he was like, we get complaints about this place all the time, like weird stuff. And I was like, yeah, super weird. And then we left and I have my car back. I'm short $350 plus the $20 I spent on the parking that did not matter. And if you're gonna learn anything from this, do not park at Northgate ever. I will never ever again. These people are literally waiting there, and as soon as your time ends, they get you. Like, there's people, miserable people that hate their lives, that want to prey on college students who already don't have a lot of money, sitting there in those parking lots waiting to tow, and then they call the truck to come and they just load up your car and go. So that's the lesson. I don't think I forgot any details. I might have, just because there's literally so much, but yeah, weird. Don't let roadrunners like take advantage of you, because they tried. Yeah, thanks for listening to my rant. Bye.